So, our journey, we have been doing it hammer the delusion. Before that, we had the self inquiry. Before that, we understood about the mind. This delusion is a defect of the mind, and the defect causes sorrow, suffering, and we are not worthy of suffering. Defect itself is a suffering and a sorrow. Do you agree? Even if you don't agree, keep smiling. Understanding is very important. I know that you will not agree. Car is moving, that movement is superimposed on the highway, and we see the highway is moving. Are you getting it? Look at it. This is the delusion. Those who are not from US, I should tell them that there is a lazy boy chair. In US, it's very famous. Or if you don't have it, so buy one lazy boy chair. Sit down there, close your eyes, and give me the three benefits that why you are fully busy. Give me three benefits. You cannot find it. That is a great delusion. Are you more busy than the existence itself, who has to manage all the entire solar system, universe, you, me? No, no, I'm little more busy than you don't understand. So that is why I said buy a go to lazy boy, those who are in US, buy some chair, sit down, close your eyes and find out why you are fully busy, why you have a stress, and give me three benefits of it. Last week you have been fully busy, and gradually all those thoughts dissolved. Why? Because you became focused on doing some activity, and after that, it is gone. Take it easy. Listening and learning the lesson now, hammering the delusion should be in an easy way. Why easy way? Because you can pay more attention to what these masters are saying. But if you are not easy even in attending the session, you will skip the session. I know it. So better to skip the session than live in the delusion. Let me give you an example of a delusion. A guy won a lottery. One Swami, one of my guru used to tell a story. One guy won a lottery and he called his friend telling him that his wife is very sensitive, touchy. All the husbands feel that their wife are touchy. That's a normal understanding. Anyhow, so you go to my home, he told his friend, you go to my home, engage her in discussion. And when you find that she is calm and relaxed, then you inform her that I won a lottery. Also, his friend went to home, started talking of the well-being. Then his friend said to his wife, well, if you get $1 million, what will you do? The friend's wife said, I'll give you a half a million. And the friend fainted. His friend fainted. This is what happens in our life. His friend went to his wife to make her calm and relaxed, and he got fainted. This is what happens in our life. So first the husband was in delusion. Second, the women, wife, and the third, his friend, who went there to make her wife calm. This is happening every day in our life. I told you the last time the story. This young guy who lives nearby, I gave 200% to this girl and she stopped talking to me. Why you gave 200%? Who told you? So your expectation of happiness from the world outside pushed you to give 200%. And I told you that he was telling me that at least, she should have sent me a text message. I said, what message you want? I will send you the same message. You want those 10 sentences and the phrases. I'll send you the message. Where is the problem? Do you see the coloring? Do you see the superimposition? This is what is happening every day, every moment in our life. We have to hammer the delusion. If you don't hammer the delusion, it will not work. You may be practicing meditation, and that is the reason because we don't have a right knowledge. You practice meditation, and in meditation, you have those hallucinations and imaginations, and you start working with those imaginations and hallucinations. Then you say, I am talking to the God, and still I have a lot of stress. Yeah, because the God has a stress. And that is why, so what should we do? What should we do? The first line is so beautiful. First four stanza. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Moodh Mate. Recall, remember, relive into the real self. Oh, my fool mind. संप्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति दुक्कृन्न करणे. My intellectual understanding will not help me living my life. Anytime the death can come. This is the normal meaning. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Murdhamate. We already discussed about it. We already discussed about there is a difference between the fool, mad, and the wise. That is why I said, it's better. Now it's a Labor Day sale. Today is the Labor Day sale. Go to the Lazy Boy and buy the Lazy Boy chairs. It's better. Spend some money and close your eyes and think what we are doing. Are we living in delusion or not? In your country, there may not be, you can buy other chairs. One master used to say that a peacock a man fed the peacock a little opium for 2 days. On the third day, the peacock returned to his house at the same time to get little more opium. If our mind is not blessed with these principles coming from the teachings of these great masters, if we do not feel like returning to the session and listening, oh, what is that delusion I have to remove today? I'm not worthy of suffering. The journey will not be complete. And it is all about understanding. So, first thing that I have to recognize the delusion. So, the moment I recognize the delusion, I'm already started discernment and dispassion. So, I'm moving on the other side of the mind. It can happen instantly. I start living into that awareness. That is the first stanza, that I do not only understand intellectually, but now I'm living into it. I'm living into it. This is an opium of wisdom. Don't think that I'm promoting drug. Otherwise, sometimes people have misunderstood. Delusion is a defect. And we have to live with the defect, but in my consciousness, that defect is not present. You continue driving your car on the highway. You will continue to see the highway is running away behind you. Do you see that? Your car is running. So the running car is superimposed on the highway. Are you getting it? Say yes. So if one is angry, what is superimposed on your mind if you react? One is hesitated. What is superimposed on your mind? That is why I said you have to buy a lazy ear to think of it. I know you all are very fully busy. It will not work. It is because of the delusion we have insecurity, we have unhappiness, we have a dissatisfaction in our life. Look at the look at the deeper essence of psychology of Eastern wisdom. I have to recall, I have to remember the moment I feel I'm fully busy, I'm reacting, I'm hesitated, I'm tired, I have no time, I have no time to attend the lesson. It is a part of the delusion. So our master says that is why he says, what he says, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudhamate. Mudhamate means the fool. A foolish person lacks a good sense, acts unwisely, without thinking of a situation, of a relationship, of a person. Whom do we fight the most? Near and dear ones. What you will get by fighting with me? Maximum, you will not attend the session. Maximum. No, we have a wonderful woman, couple of years back. She challenged me. Oh, do you think that I'm not a seeker? I did not say anything. so, so now, because you have a sense of guilt, so you are not going to attend the session now. But if you are a seeker, you will say, no, I will attend. Continue to think of it. It is foolishness to spend your entire day in thinking you are fully busy rather than focusing on the activities that you need to do. Then every day you are free. So there is a difference between the mad and the fool. A mad person is angry, irrational, uncontrolled, not ready to listen, not ready to listen. And a wise person shows the good judgment. So that good judgment is what the master is saying, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam. You can remember, just relive, remember, just discover that I'm the real self. Just think in your mind. I'm not saying do lot of stuff. Just think, am I the real self? Is my nature is peace and happiness? So at least our mind that is living in the delusion has an option to shift. That gives you an understanding, and followed by you do the practice, your life will change. And I gave an example last time that, limitations. So one master says that because of the limitations I experience in my mind, causes the insecurity, being actually busy, going into reaction. This is, just think of it. I gave an example that we felt limited in the womb of the mother. Eastern wisdom gynecology. Gynecologist will say that, okay, your baby is throwing the legs, so no worries, he is alive. Our perception is that they are throwing the legs because they feel limited. Consciousness embodies the body, feels limited. Tell me anything if you don't feel limited, if you don't feel limited and you have a stress. Give me any example. Any example of the stress, delusion, reaction, anxiety, duality, and a conflict. If you have all of them, you feel limited. And that sense of limitations is causing the insecurity, causing the unhappiness in your life, causes the dissatisfaction. Hammer the delusion. Think. I'm not saying that you should agree. Think. All the time we are struggling against the limitations, seeking fulfillment through the worldly pleasures. But that results into more discontentment. I marry to be happy, I divorce to be happy, I remarry to be happy. You see the sequence? See the sequence? Think, my friends. Anytime, anywhere. During the day, the moment the mind is surrounded by the anxiety and the duality and a conflict, they all come from the delusion, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate. Don't, don't get happy or satisfied only with an intellectual understanding. Allow that knowledge to descend into the mind. It will only happen when you contemplate and reflect and simply ask, give me three benefits I'm in stress to your own mind. Give me three benefits I'm fully busy. Give me three benefits I'm going to fight with this guy. So if we are mad, we will not think of it. If we are, I don't want to say otherwise, you'll feel bad about it. So Bhaj Govindam helps us that the mind should go within. It should remember the joy and the happiness comes from within. And within my mind, there is a sense of limitation, which is causing the insecurity, which is causing the sense of dissatisfaction, which is causing the many superimpositions. I'm not talking of very subtler level of superimposition. that causes the ignorance. We are going to talk about it. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam. So why he said Bhaj Govindam? Because it has certain emotion into it. It's a kind of a poetry. Think. So you wake up in the morning, certain movement of the thought superimposed in the mind. Now you are in a delusion, and the whole day passes in anxiety and duality. It is all about recalling, remembering, and reliving into that. But delusion cannot be understood if you do not have a discernment. Say, for example, here, if you don't just remember Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj has many meaning. I told you last in the last session, and Govindam is a pure consciousness. If I'm of the nature of pure consciousness, how can I be fully busy? How can I be stressed? How can I be? You question the validity of the stress and reaction in your life. This is this is the starting journey of you have understood the intellectually. This is the journey of contemplation and reflection. And that is why I'm repeating again, you have to buy a lazy chair where your mind is alert so you can contemplate and reflect. Last session, I also repeated clearly that whether we are born with the richest mom or the poorest mom, more or less the size of the womb is the same. Limitations is the same. Outer level, you may have a luxury bed and all the maid servants are there to serve the mom. Think in that way. So what the master is saying that, let us change the way we think about our life. We think at the superficial level, outer level. Womb that mother is limited. We are throwing our hands in the feet of the to get out of it. You cannot think of, in a star hotel that I will book a suite. I'll have a first class seat in the airline. It doesn't work in the womb. Existence treats us the same way. Just you think in that way. You simply change your thinking pattern, you see the life changes. To get out of the limitations we don't understand because we are in delusion, that is why we do the same thing again and again and again. That is why I give an example. I marry to be happy, I divorce to be happy. I remarry to be happy, I divorce to be. I'm doing the same thing again and again because I do not recognize that sense of delusion in my life. And ultimately, 90 years old, what is their problem? Same problem of delusion. Same problem of delusion, which I'm born with, and I continued this. Master says, what should you do? Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Mood Mate. Do not simply sing, but allow it to descend to your mind. Govindam Bhaj Mood Mate. Samprapte sannahite kale. So what the master is saying that now the time is coming. We do not know when we are going to die. Today I am fully busy. This today will never come again. Are you? I believe you all are understanding. This tomorrow will never come again. So when you ask yourself, give me three benefits of being fully busy, stress, duality, and a conflict, there is a benefit. It will pass on the next day. It will pass on the next day. And what happens? Then we are doing the same thing again and again and again and expecting a different result. We are changing the outer situations, we are changing the outer conditions of our life. We have more money, we have less money. Nothing is going to change. We have an expectations from the world outside. That is the subtler part of this delusion. So that is why you are very clear. I gave an example of the mirage water. If you approach the mirage water, it is not there. But at a far, you see that. So we see the entire world. We see I'm fully busy from too far. I see my stress being too far from myself. That is why I see the stress. When I come close, intellectual understanding is very easy for human race. I can tell you. It's very easy. Everyone has an intellect. That's why we can go to the school, not animals. That is why we push our kids to go to the school. Because we all are human beings. It's very easy, I can tell you. Underst- Intellectual understanding is extremely easy. But the contemplation and reflection on the knowledge so that it should move into the mind, it should change my behavior and attitude is extremely difficult. I believe you're getting it. And that is why we have a principle of discernment and dispassion. And that is why we are talking about hammering the delusion. So Bhaj Govinda means that I should analyze at least even for 5 minutes during the day. You feel tired, just analyze, understand why you are fully busy. Evaluate your priorities there and then. And you will see instantly the delusion is gone, the stress is gone. So the first four lines, Stenja, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. So it is being repeated again and again. So it is says that I have to hammer the intellect after understanding. I have to see what is lacking, where the delusion has caught me. It may be caught in the relationship, in money matters, in all the stuff the way we are living our life, our relationship. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed and be comfortable. Being comfortable, Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Now, while you are thinking and reflecting on this, I have made it very clear. So you start visualizing, feeling, recognizing the happiness is the essential nature of the people who are near and dear ones, who are living very near and dear to me. You start recognizing that. Why? To get out of an idea about your honey, your relations that we have built up over the years by so much of hard work to live in the delusion. No, but I don't have a feeling like that. You do it every day. Within a couple of weeks, you will have that feeling also. Sarvesham, Sarvesham, Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. And I said you that you start from the near and the dear ones. And no, my dad, is always angry. No, that is the delusion. So I should change the thinking. Well, my dad is angry at the surface level, but inside it is his essential nature that I cannot deny because he cannot be angry 24 by 7. You see, you are removing your own delusion of the mind. My friends, I can tell you this will go a long way in helping you evolve to live into the higher consciousness 24 by 7. Because you don't live in that delusion. You say that everyone has the peace which is essential nature. So when whether you go to the market or meet someone, you respond. Do you see that? Sarvesham, Sarvesham, Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Purnam Bhavatu. Now, see that I gave an example of that we felt limitedness in the womb of the mother, in sense of incompleteness is there. But the consciousness is complete in itself. Have you ever thought that the consciousness goes into stress and delusion? Answer is no. That pure consciousness we are. And that is the pointer here. Let there be a sense of completeness with reference to the consciousness I am. I'm not the false I. Another aspect that we will dwell deeply in the next session is the false I is also the delusion. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be an auspiciousness for all. So when the delusion is not there, the life is already in the auspiciousness. Do you understand? Did I say the delusion is defect? Delusion itself is the stress and suffering. So who created this? I created. How I created? Because of the wrong notions. No, but I understand. Being fully busy is not good, for example. But still I am fully busy. What it means? The intellectual paralysis is there. I forgot to contemplate and reflect. So auspiciousness is always there, my friend. We will continue looking deep inside the forehead in the space. Om Shanti with the oh, you already know that the pause is there. You're not doing it uh, because if you're doing it, it may be an intellectual understanding. So you ask the mind, Om, pause, Shanti, Om, pause, Shanti, and at the same time in that state, start breathing quick, short, and gentle breath into the chest. Pay attention to the expansion and contraction of the rib cage. My friends, keep on, continue. Check that there is no resistance. And even if there is a resistance on a given day, simply accept and endure it. So we have a solution at a subtler level of the entire journey. You continue quick, short, and gentle breathing into the rib cage. Expansion and contraction continues. Om Shanti continues, and the entire body is living into that state of comfort and carefree and steadiness. So this is the training and education of the mind to get rid of those delusions. So you are able to maintain that level of awareness. If there is a resistance, endure it. No resistance, you enjoy it. Continue. Sometime you will find the mind likes to stop the breath and waits. Oh, what happened? It is all because of the past impression. Another layer that we have to explore. We are not doing breathing for raising the oxygen level, physiological changes. The science has already done too much of research. We are doing a self research, self discovery. Continue, continue. The movement of the rib cage, expansion and contraction. And during the breathing, if there is any resistance, if there is no resistance, you are enjoying the freedom. Om Shanti continues, the steadiness in the body continues. And my friend, stop this breathing, paying attention at the flow of the nostril, recognizing the changes and also the resistance if you had while doing the breath. While, because we will keep that in the memory when we will repeat again. And you will find out when you are repeating every day, you discover that resistance is gone. Return again to the breath. If if the flow of the nostril, one of the nostril has less, pay attention there and just be there. And you will discover that both the flow of both the nostrils become almost equal. Why? Because the mind is already within. Because you have endured to do the breathing for 5 minutes. Now, looking again inside the forehead, Om Shanti, and start little longer breath into the belly. Longer breath because the lower lobes of the lungs are bigger than the upper lobes. And be very clear. It is symbolic. I say breathe into the belly. It's a diaphragmatic breathing. Hardcore scientist who has only an intellectual understanding, they will say, no, how can you breathe into the belly? Leave them alone. Continue. You inhale, the belly expands, you contract, the belly contracts. We need the movement of those muscles. And Om Shanti continues, and body remain in the state of steadiness. You will experience the changes, accept those changes, and also any resistance coming from the mind because of the past impression, habit, impulses. We endure those resistance and we keep on doing it. So you will discover whether you succeed in it or you fail in it. But don't worry about it. You're breathing into the belly, continue. I told you, accept the changes, tingling, numbness, vision, colors. Don't get carried away. Don't get carried away even by the resistance if you face. No way, you endure it. Pay attention to the breathing and keep on. Continue. Om Shanti also continues. And stop this breathing. Allow the breath to be normal. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. If any of the nostril has a less flow, pay attention there. Accept the change. You have already accepted the changes and recognize. Why I said recognize the resistance that you have had during the breathing, because we need that memory. Why we need that memory? The next time when we do it with a greater awareness and attention, so that that resistance does not work before our commitment. You see, the entire journey is very subtle inside. One more change will come because of this breath once you share your experiences, and then I will reveal it. Otherwise, and now looking again inside the forehead, Om Shanti, you are dropping at a point in the space inside the forehead. And now start doing the long, deep, and the hissing breath, both from the belly and the chest. First, you inhale into the belly, continue into the rib cage, breathing out from the belly and the rib cage. You're doing with a hissing sound, and you are also aware of accepting the changes, recognizing the resistance, recognizing the changes. In terms of the resistance, you endure it. What it means by enduring, you keep on doing it. The mind says no, and you keep on doing it. But at the same time, you don't forget dropping Om Shanti. Those who have been doing these practices regularly, they can understand easily. And stop, allow the breath to return to its normal state. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. Any resistance you have already registered consciously. Right, when you do it next time on your own, you can deal with that resistance calmly. And if you have one less flow of the nostril, you pay attention there and see the flow from both the nostrils become symmetrical, become same, equal. And then you need not to do anything. You need not to worry about it. Why? That with involved moving mind now takes over the practice from your intellect. Is that so? Yes. That is one of the most beautiful state a seeker can experience in one's life. Looking inside the cave of your heart, visualize or imagine or think of a triangle equilateral pointing upward. You already know I'm keeping these two steps similar. I'll be bringing the chains later, moving the mind on the side of a triangle, the first point of awareness and movement of the mind, Om Shanti, clockwise, anti-clockwise. When you find you get a sync, then singing mentally, pushing the mind inside through the center of the triangle. Shanti, when the mind seemingly stops, a conscious self absorption. Well, it happens. The mind is carried away by any thought. No issue. Return to the triangle. Experience the sink and then move the mind again inside in the cave of the heart. So we are not at least reacting to any changes. That is not what we are expecting comes. You see, so there also we are removing the delusion at a very deeper level. And when you succeed in removing the delusion at a deeper level, subtler level, what to say in your daily life, my friends? And now, Om Shanti on the 16 segments of a triangle. And you are already aware that we are not touching those segments physically. It is all the mental. Mind's eye, mind's tongue, mind's ear, mind's touch. Om Shanti. Why I'm reminding you? So that you will instantly start feeling a tremendous sensation, those 16 segments. Sometimes we feel as if there is nothingness. Oh, you already have been sharing those experiences. We are progress. Shanti. It's a play and a fun because you see the result of dropping on Shanti. It definitely takes you to that peace or nothingness with lot of sensations, visions. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. And if you have any question, how are you, David and Jerry?
Namaste. Thank you. Very, very good practice. It was extremely quick. For me, this practice, I focused on the breathing through the nostrils, and in the very first fast breathing, they were a little off. So for the rest of the practice, I focused on that, and I don't know if it was because of that. I didn't have it. I mean, I had some other thoughts that came by, but they just went by, and it was just like really deep. So that focus, in addition to the Om Shanti, allowed me to go way deeper.
Very good. That's really good. It was very smooth without any resistance. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. Sir, the practice was, or the meditation was seamless, very calm, peaceful, no disturbances at all. I do have a quick question. Curious about, let's just say that we live with someone that is daily judging, complaining, blaming, not seeing life clearly, kind of makes up stories, like, because it's not clear, or, I guess saying lie. What is the wise way? Because I know I hear you through the couple years, that we build endurance with that, and we know that that person is consciousness as well, so we know that they want to be happy, but they express that they have a different expression, and it is, I think, challenging because it doesn't disturb our happiness or our peace. However, when you live in it with someone like that, what is the wise way to behave with that person?
Yes, simple answer that we should continue to behave wisely with him or her, and we should not overburden ourselves to change them.
So,
Because, yeah, go ahead.
so then do you just become kind of like, so do you just turn away from that then? And because you know you do you, I
That
don't,
is a good point you are saying. You don't get away with a stranger if he or she has that habit.
right,
But here the mind is saying that I should get away because I'm living with him or her so near. So it means there are still some impressions left of the delusion in relationship to that person. So now see that. Next day, you wake up in the morning and that guy meets you. You are full of that peace and happiness. You are not affected at all.
right.
You are not at all affected. Second day, you are not affected. Third day, you are not affected. So now you are out of the delusion, even then you know this guy or a girl behaving like this. You cannot change those people.
No, right. So is it just that they're kind of invisible then? Because it's almost impossible to ignore, and
No,
you don't
that is,
interact.
yeah, that is where I'm coming. You are not ignoring. You are not at all ignoring. You are still welcoming. You still say hello. You still say I love you. But you are aware that you are not being dictated by any delusion with reference to that person. No ignore. You are perfectly normal. So that takes a little more time to reach to that stage.
Yeah.
You're not ignoring, because in US, we say, okay, so you remain oblivious, you remain indifference, means you are sad about other person. No. Why you should be sad if the other is crazy? Why I should be sad? Even if one is very near and dear to me. No, I am not sad. I'm not ignoring. I'm not ignoring at all. My behavior, my thought, my expression comes out of that state of the mind which is not guided by the delusion. I still see in him or her the same peace and happiness.
Yes. Yeah.
No, so I don't ignore. So, what is going to happen? Because your pressure, your expression of peace and happiness, your expression free from the delusion may change him or her. Because now the pressure is good. Now the pressure is not negative. Now the pressure is not, even ignoring is the pressure. Oh,
Mhm.
I ignore you. No, you guy will talk the same way. So I'm ignoring, so I'm creating another delusion in his or her mind.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in a situation before where somebody's very physically abusive, and it's you can't unless you just take it, because you can't get away from it, and you don't want to be abused. You don't want to be hit and
Yeah,
struck.
here
So
comes, now you are opening up. So, in case of a physical abuse, I have to be assertive positively. First, I have to be assertive at the physical level, and then I take care of my mind and emotions. Because, physical abuse, any kind of physical abuse, you can include anything. I have to be assertive. No, here is no, and then that no does not have any aggression. See that? That no does not have any aggression at all. Sometimes, people talk to me, I say, no, I'm not talking to you. Stop this. But it does not mean that I mean it. I just want to stop him and her not to go that direction. I'm not weak. We have to be very careful about that. I'm not weak. Peace is my power. I'm asserting you. Yes, that's a very practical application. We are reaching there. We are reaching there in this journey of hammering the delusion. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good, thank you. Um, I realized during today's lesson that that being busy and conflict and anger and anxiety and all of that stuff doesn't serve my essential nature of peace and happiness. And it was just very powerful, that led to a meditation practice that was absolutely thoughtless. And after the first set of breathing and I checked the flow and it was just even, I just settled into an absolute blank space. And it was just peace to the truest definition of myself. So it was great. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. You definitely reflected on today's talk, and that is self-explanatory. Wonderful. Understand, I gave an example of this story. Again, no, I will take it later. So, how are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. Sir, practice was good. Though a lot of thoughts were coming in the mind, but it was like I was going smooth. It was clear and peaceful.
Good. Very good. How are you, Samir?
Practice was very good, and slowly it is becoming very, means it has become very, means it is taking place in my mind that I can get into peace in any situation if I want.
Hmm.
If I am not in peace, I am doing something wrong.
Definitely. Yeah, that recognition should be there. So that is what the Bhaj Govindam is. That is what the Bhaj Govindam is. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. Today I got a sense of almost like my false self stepped aside and consciousness took over during the meditation and was doing the, I guess, breathing and
Yeah.
the practice. Yeah.
Very good. So all resistances, dissolve completely. Yes, that's a good expression. How are you, Dennis?
I'm good, thank you. The breathing was uniform. I did not notice any resistance from the mind. It was very flexible, ready to do whatever the intellect tells it to do. One thing I noticed is that while chanting Om Shanti, the mind always wants to synchronize this chanting either with the breath or with the heartbeat. Just something I noticed.
Yeah. So that is okay in the beginning, and gradually we will be able to drop that association. Mind always works with the law of association. I'm fully busy, so I have to be in stress. Law of association, I tell you frankly. You look at a person and your mind says he or she is crazy. Law of association. Think, just, I'm just saying, think. All beer guys are crazy. Law of association. It's the law of association. Or you can say all husbands are, there are many husbands here, so I don't want to say anything. So you can create a statement. So this law of association creates that either it can go to delusion or it can go to dispassion. That is what, I was talking. So I have to filter out the delusion part. I'm crazy, you are talking to me. So I am crazy, but how my craziness should create a delusion in you and why? Challenge that mind. Are you getting it? You challenge this mind. So when you challenge this mind, your mind lives into dispassion and it is done. Then even if you shout to show the physical strength does not disturb you. Does not disturb you. So sometimes we need it. If the person's mind is like a wall, you cannot enter into that. And some are very emotionally poised, you can easily enter. It's a free gate. But those people who are living with us, first thing, you have to keep quiet, keep silence. Allow your mind to reach to that state where you don't have any reaction, any resistance. You have already built that. And then start working and see what happens. That is how those awakened people used to live with, That is all for today. Thank you very much. We will meet again in our next session.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Bye.